to the boathouse and we found the right size wrench, I think. So it should probably work. Too bloody big, so let's go get another one. Mr. Fail Handyman.
The first step was to scrape off as much old paint as possible.
Ooh.
That works perfect. It's awesome. And it just died.
But we're waiting on them to get back to us with the building permit before we can start actually, putting in foundations and building the cabin. So that's okay, because in the meantime, there's a lot of prep work to do. We've been pulling out old appliances that don't work. We're trying to get the barge out of the water there. Looks a little, looks like the ice in the winter pushed it up onto shore, so it's a little underwater at the back. No water in there at all?
None.
So much for that idea.
It's insane. This is the biggest sail we've ever seen. Our deal is if he really messes it up, I'm gonna give him a buzz cut. Roughly the same as mine, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Or else he gets buzzed.
Welcome to another episode of
The Epic Family Road Trip.
In this week's episode, we begin with a combined celebration of July 1st, Canada's birthday, and July 4th, Independence Day in the US.
We also set up our new windsurfing rig and tested it on land to get the feel for the wind and the sail before heading out on the water. Windsurfing is a whole new sport to us, so there is a ton to learn. We're looking forward to learning it throughout the summer. Practicing windsurfing on land. This is when you need a harness, eh? That was a good cut.
There's been quite a heat wave over the last couple of days, in fact almost the entire week, and we look on the news and it looks like that heat wave is in the entire northeast of North America. Well, it was no different here. It was way up in the 90s or the high mid 30s Celsius, and it makes it a little hard to work, but we had a lot of work to do. But you know what, the lake is never more than about 20 steps from where we are, so we can always jump in and cool off. Mom's been working really hard finishing up her major project, which is scraping down the old logs and putting on a couple layers of paint and primer and all that. And I think you're pretty much done the bulk of it now. What a job. We had no idea what we were getting into, but she persisted and got it done. Now, we submitted our building permit to the tiny little municipal office up here. The building code folks work about 2 or 3 hours a week, so they're not easy to get a hold of, but hey, it's a small area. It's only population 500 in this whole entire region. But we're waiting on them to get back to us with the building permit before we can start actually putting in foundations and building the cabin. So that's okay, because in the meantime, there's a lot of prep work to do. We've been pulling out old appliances that don't work, like the old original fridge and water heater. We've been disposing of those things. We've been digging out the back, leveling the area so that it is on grade and so that there's some airspace when we start building, and all kinds of other preparation projects getting ready for framing, which is going to be very exciting. It might be 2 weeks or so from now before we start knocking up walls, and we're really looking forward to that part because that's going to be really fun, and getting a roof on the new section and all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, it's grinding it out and getting the prep work done. But we're having fun and we're learning all kinds of new skills, and we're working hard and really enjoying our time here on the island.
I just finished painting this side of the cabin, so now all we have left is the boys' room. I decided, because we have to move more of that dirt down so that we have more airflow underneath the cabin, I decided to move it over here. Hopefully we can get this done before the screws come next week.
Right now we're just taking out the old water heater in here that we haven't used for a long time anywhere. I don't think we've ever used it in this cabin. So I'm just cutting all the pipes and undoing bolts and things to get it out.
We're unfortunately moving out the old original fridge. It's a propane-based fridge. It's been up here for who knows how long. Ever since we've owned the place, at least it's worked for us. But the last couple of years it started to falter, and we've replaced some parts, but now it's time to move it out. We'll use it for a parts machine because we have other Servels on the island, but we're going to go and purchase a new, bigger capacity, more efficient fridge. In order to get big items here to the island, like when we order a new fridge and freezer and things like that, but also all the building materials, the 2x4s and the trusses and the roof materials, etc. There's going to be a lot of stuff that has to come on. We have a barge, which is a boat, but it's really like just it's just designed for carrying big weight. Now it's usually parked on the backside of the island during the winter, and it looks like this year the ice was really thick and it pushed it way up onto land. So we had a bit of a job getting that thing out. In fact, it took at least half a day, a bit longer than that, freeing this massive multi-ton steel barge off of the shore. We're trying to get the barge out of the water there. Looks a little, looks like the ice in the winter pushed it up onto shore, so it's a little underwater at the back, but we might be able to just, if we can get these ropes off and free it, and then free it from the shore, because the ice would have pushed it on land, so it's stuck. But if we can get that other little boat and work away at it, might be able to get it floating. And then all we do is pump out the extra water out of the bottom, and we got ourselves a barge. We're going to need that for all the gear, all the materials and things that we need to bring out to the island when we start building. Step one is undo the ropes that are holding her in. Work fine. Yeah, it's a hot day today, but we have a pleasant breeze back here, so makes it pretty nice. All right, see what you can do. Yeah.
It's not sliding, it's just lifting.
What the plan is, see that little hole there? That's we're gonna have to go down into the belly of the boat and try to find the water. I think it's way down at the bottom. And try to get this sump pump in there. And it's not a very powerful pump or anything, but we're gonna start pumping water out, see how long it takes. But I think every inch or two of water, the boat will start to rise. That should make it easier to get it up.
I don't think there's any water ballast.
No water in there at all?
There's none.
So much for that idea. We can't see any water in it at all, so it must not be sunk. It's just the fact that it's up so high on the ground. It's forcing the back into the water. So basically we're sitting on this rock here and nothing on the other side, but it's right up against the dock. So we were trying to push it off the rock, but then we realized it's hitting the dock. So we've got 3 crowbars and all of us going at it and not budging it. And we tried pulling with the boat too, that didn't work.
You think it's sunk in the sand?
It's probably in the sand at the back, but yeah, I just don't know. Alright, well, couple hours work and we're no further, except we got the engine running. That's a good thing. And we moved it about an inch. So we've tried a whole bunch of different things. We're gonna go get a different jack now. We tried the floor jack, it didn't work. There's one more type of jack, that's our last chance, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so last time we did the last chance, which was to get the jacks and try to jack it and push it away from the shore, and both jacks didn't work. So we have the last chance, which is we went to the Jeep. We went out to the Jeep and got the floor jack that is on the back of the Jeep for getting us unstuck if we ever get stuck. And we're gonna try that jack. I'm sure it works. It's never been used, but I'm sure it'll work. And the hope is we can prop it up against the rocks, push on the big boat here with all the firewood on it, and push it back. And once we get it back, hopefully it'll come back up and float, and we'll be off to the races. So let's give her a try. Yeah,
It's moving.
it's moving. All right.
All right, all right, all right.
It's kind of free. Cover that. So we did it. Worked on it almost all day, but the barge is now sitting in front of our cabin. The ice had pushed it way up on shore, and it was jammed in there pretty good. So it took us some time and a lot of effort, but we've got it now. All we got to do is pump out the back so it comes up a bit. It's sitting a bit low. There's not a lot of water in there, but there's too much, so we'll get that out of there. And we have to do a little bit of repair on the steering on the Yamaha, but the engine runs fine, so quite the job, but we got her done using some good old-fashioned ingenuity and just thinking it through. We didn't have enough muscle power to push it out physically, but we ended up getting it out by using jacks and pushing it back until it came free from the rocks, and then it got caught on the logs, and we pushed it till it got free from the logs, and then we're off to the races. So good day's work, and looking forward to getting that thing operational, because that's how all the wood's going to come across the lake to get to the building site here. And first thing we need to do is pick up a new fridge, and that thing will carry it across the lake for us. So glad we got that out. Now with that big heat wave, the atmosphere starts to get unstable, as you know, in a lot of areas, and then a big storm will come in and wash through the area and then kind of clear out the atmosphere and take away the humidity and the heat, and all of a sudden you get another big high pressure system, which we have now. But when that storm rolled through, it really rolled through. next morning another storm rolled through, but it cleared the way for a nice high pressure system of sunshine and blue skies.
It's insane. This is the biggest hail we've ever seen, especially up at the cottage.
We also got to plant a herb garden so that we have some fresh rosemary and thyme and basil and all kinds of beautiful herbs that we like to use while cooking.
Right now we're just clearing a little spot so we can plant my mom's herb garden.
Caroline mustered up a delicious meal using those herbs, and we just love cooking here on the island. It's so much fun, and it always tastes better. We've had the same experience when we're overlanding or RVing or camping, and the same here on the island. Somehow camp food always tastes better. Caroline spent some time making a delicious meal. It's called Israeli salad with shawarma chicken, and we're going to give it the taste test here. Now we're going to get a bit of the vegetables and the chicken. Wow, that is off the charts.
With all the hot weather we've been having, me and Peter decided to get haircuts. And since there's no barber shop around, we decided to do it ourselves. I personally thought it was gonna be a disaster, but it turned out okay. So Pete's gonna try cutting my hair for the first time, and our deal is if he really messes it up, I'm gonna give him a buzz cut, shave off all his hair. So yeah, I just got my hair done by my mom, and Daniel has been having long hair forever, like long surf hair, but we're gonna try getting it short. Roughly the same as mine, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I don't mess it up, or else he gets buzzed. American tall hair. Better do this guy. Beauty. Alright, you're done. Sweet. This is gonna be really nice. Oh man. No turning back. Ouch. Big piece of hair just went down my neck. I just now moved his hair so then I can actually see what I'm missing here. So I just gotta make it a better fade up. Then I'm gonna take off the top. Let's first get the fade right. Hope this works out. I'm gonna start up here. So Mother's gonna finish it up just to make sure it's all perfect, because she's a lot better than I am. This hair's finally done. It actually looks pretty good. It's a perfect haircut for this summer with all the work that we're gonna be doing around the cabin and everything, just a low maintenance haircut. It's good. It's a new style for Dan. Yeah, but I've always had long hair, but Peter did a pretty good job, so I'm not gonna end up shaving his head.
Fastest speeds. 3, 2, 1. Hey. Hey.
We really hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Stay tuned for next week because there's a lot of exciting things ahead. We're getting closer and closer to building our addition on the cabin. We're really starting to get the hang of this thing called living off the grid, being less reliant on all the modern conveniences that we normally are used to. But it's been a great experience, lots of things to learn and many, many things to learn coming up. Thank you to all of our subscribers. We enjoy having each and every one of you as part of the Epic family. Make sure you leave a comment or a question. We always really love hearing from you, and thanks to all of you who have left comments in the past. It's really nice to know that you're enjoying our videos and getting inspired to do similar things with your family.
And in the meantime,
We'll see you down the road.